Well, hello everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome back to the Traveling Contractor series, where I am proud to say we are in American Falls, where deer float, apparently. I just noticed this. Okay. Hey, you never know what you're going to get. Streaming to you live from the satellite office, our satellite office in West Michigan. Of course, that's the RQS Gaming International Conglomerate satellite office. Our home office, of course, being in Hoboken, New York. Weather here is much nicer than it is here in American Falls, that is for sure. The farmer has asked that we plow 2 fields for him today. We're getting 10 grand a field. I questioned why we were getting paid so much, but it became apparent when I got here. The weather it's been raining for about 30 days straight. The fields are in horrible condition. We are going to do the best we can. I have a little bit more confidence in that Challenger over there than I do the 8R. Sorry, John Deere fans. It's not the tractor, it's the rubber. We'll find out. It's already sinking into the ground. We've got a couple of John Deere rippers as well attached to these tractors. We'll see how well they do. As always, I will have a download link in the description below for the map, and for the mods that I use today, I'll have those out on our Discord server, where you are more than welcome to join, and I always list the mods that I use in these Traveling Contractor series, as well as mods that I'm currently using out on Tranquil Waters. Yes. So what do we have today? The 2 rippers we have going on are from LR Modding, the 2100 series rippers, 8.6 meters. I love to say ripper, so you'll probably hear that a lot today. And of course, we've got our Challenger, 646 horsepower of pure pleasure. That is with a big old cat engine inside. And our 8R is brought to you by Custom Modding, 458 horsepower. Oh boy, yeah. Actually, the base game from Giants is the one that we currently have hooked up to the Ripper. These 2 other John Deeres that we have here from LR Modding are over yonder right here. I decided out of pocket to go grab a couple more 8Rs just to try some things out. We've got a tracked version. We've got a big floater version. One is a little more European style. I think it was an import job. Have no idea, but we grabbed it anyways. And that's what we have to work with today. Not bad. I think I need to shut up, and I think we need to get started working. I want to get this done before dark. Check out this lighting package on the old Cat Challenger. Very nice indeed. Interior where it's a little drier. Really nice inside dealio. Let's get him over to our other field. Oh, it's muddy. Let's get him over to our other field, and let's get Courseplay fired up and at least get this thing started, so that we don't waste too much more time. Let's create a job straight away if I can find my way around. Let's find out here. Create a job. Let's open her up. Let's do 2 headlands. I think that'll work out pretty well. We're going to overlap those headlands. Up and down sounds good. Up and down and all around. Automatic is good. I think we can just go simply with that. Course generated. Thank you very much. First, Brad, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Of course, it'll be easy just to get that. Oh, man, I have no idea. Old fasty finger clicking there. First deal. There we go. Where is our starting point? It should be right yonder, right here. Awesome. Now these tracked versions, just doing a little testing here. Tracked versions do much better. In fact, I generally would say don't use anything but tracks if you're dealing with mud. I did have some luck with regular tires. Oh, don't turn the lights off. All right, you do what you do. You do what you do. This Ripper is fantastic. Again, love saying Ripper. Who doesn't love saying Ripper? Great sound effects, great looking plow, and off she goes. Let's just feast our eyes on the beauty that is American Falls with the realistic mud mod installed. I love it. It gives a sense of, I feel like it gives a much better sense of just that nasty, wet dirt that you're working in. Very, very cool. Now, oh, watch out, Bambi. Now, if you, deer are crazy on this map, by the way. I mean, yeah, deer are insane on this map. If you're not familiar with the mud mod, I believe it is PC Mac only. My apologies, console players. There are a few things with the mud map or the mud mod that you can do. All we're going to be dealing with today is basically the impact that it has on tractors and pulling implements. Included with the mud mod is also a mud buying station where you can actually buy, I believe you can buy both mud and dirt. I haven't looked into it that much. It's if you just kind of want to play around with moving mud and dirt, you can. It's a placeable that you can grab, and I don't know if I can find it here real quick or not. But it's kind of a silo bunker looking thing. I messed around with it for a short while. Here it is right here. The mud fill station. And really all it is a buying station for mud. And you can make some mud mounds, maybe make your own I don't know, make your own track for dirt bikes or off-roading and stuff like that if you want to. It's kind of cool. It's not bad, but it's just not my cup of tea necessarily. But I do definitely enjoy the aesthetics of what this mud mod does. And of course this has to be built into the map by the map author. This is not a global mod, so you can't just add it to any map and get these kind of effects. The map has got to be designed. Oh, dear nuts for this thing. But enough talking about that. Let's scooch on over to the old John Deere here. Got the old rain slicker on today. Let's scooch on over here. Let's just see, just for fun, if we can get this thing to even pull. You thought I was going to say Ripper, didn't you? Pull this plow. I guess technically it's a Ripper, right? I really don't know much of a difference between the two. Those things look like they're straight out of Dante's third level of, you know, the Inferno. Dang. All right, Mr. John Deere. First of all, will you move for us? You will. Excellent. That's a start. Let's get set up here over in the corner, and we'll see if this tractor surprises me at all. Man, good sound effects. Come on, baby, do it. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm cheering for it. It'll pull it, but it's just, it can't get the grip. It can't get the traction. All right, all right. I'm not gonna hurt your feelings. Let's get you out of here. Now, actually, I have played around a little bit to where I think if you get a running start, let's see if this helps. Let's give the old JD a running start, and then we'll drop the Ripper. No, that shut her right now. Okay, sometimes if you give them a running start, they do a little bit better, but I think we're just asking a little too much. Love this map. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, I really, really recommend you do. What in the world are the deer doing? I really recommend you check it out. It's a great looking map. There's a lot going on with it. LancyBoi did an amazing job. I saw this when it came out. There was some drama around it that I'm not even going to get into. But it kind of just, I looked at it and I was like, yeah, okay, looks good. I definitely kept it in the old mods folder. But it wasn't until I really got into it with the mud mod and really started looking at it closer when I finally realized, man, this is a sweet map. This is a sweet, sweet map. Where is our Ripper? Over here. All right. Oh man, these floaters. Dig it in. Oh, I hope they work. Let's see if they do. I tell you, the deer, I don't know if there's like, you know how they have catnip? I'm feeling like these fields are full of deer nip or something. All right. Well, what do you think? Yay or nay? Same amount of horsepower. Come on, baby. Boy, I'll tell you what. That's feeling worse. Yeah, I think that's doing worse. The other one, we at least got a couple miles an hour out of it, right? This thing's got like posi traction going on or something, but it is not. Yeah, it's not pulling it. It's just not pulling it. Let's give it a running start. Nope. Not gonna do it. Not gonna happen. Alright. Actually, I wonder. That thing is dragging. Oh, no, I don't want to open the windows. Can we? Windows. Oh, no. I'm wondering if we can lift that back 3-point and get that thing from dragging. That thing's just dragging in the mud right now. Open HUD with mouse. Let's deactivate that. Yeah, I'm not having any luck at all. Let's do something real quick. Let's try and be... Man, you get out of the tractor and mud flies. Did you see that? That's weird. It's kind of cool. Let's customize this thing. Let's see if we can do something with this hitch. Is that all we can do? Just add the 3-point? Because that's not going to do much. I mean, we can add it, but I don't think that's going to make a spit of difference when it comes to this thing. How much weight do we have in the front? Let's put all the weight on the front. Yeah, it just... And unfortunately, there's no way to get that... That I can tell, there's no way of getting that... I mean, we can run with the windows open and get wet, but that's about all we can do. I better close that. The dealership is going to get pretty yanked if I don't. Alright, we gave it a fair go. The floaters aren't doing it. I love the look of it. Very, very much. But they're just not going to cut it. Let's try the tracked version. Got some weight on the front. Same connector on the back, I think, so we might run into a problem with that. This thing's just spinning. Oh, it's getting nasty on these fields. The mud mod takes about 10 minutes of real life time for, I guess, for it to reach its full potential. Brad, you did not line that up at all. For it to reach its full mud potential. That's a little better, isn't it? At least it's not quite into the ground. And then after it has reached its full mud viscosity, when it stops raining, I believe it stays muddy for about 10 more minutes. And if you leave the game with your tractors buried in the mud and save it, when you come back, they will still be buried. All right, let's see if we can get you lined up and if we can have a little bit better luck. Well, I don't know. I'm not getting filled with confidence. This thing is digging in deep. Oh, yes. Tracks make all the difference. Now there are some, there's a handful of videos out there in regards to the mod where people kind of talk about that. I think the author also gives some description in the mod. If you go out into the in-game mod hub, basically says exactly that if you're going to use, boy, these deer are freaks. If you're going to use skinny tires, forget about it, basically, is what the mod author is going to tell you. Tracks by far are your friend. I have not played around with it a ton, but what I have done, tracks are definitely your best option. I've not noticed a great deal of difference between the different tracks. It's kind of, if you've got tracks, you're kind of good to go. The more horsepower you have, probably the better. Of course, it depends on what implement you're pulling. This thing's, it's working. It's working, the old John Deere, that's for sure. Now, granted, this tractor has a couple hundred less horsepower than the Challenger, so we're not really dealing with apples to apples here, but I did want to get a little bit better feel for tracks versus tires. I did have a little bit better luck with the 9R. Even in a wheeled version, I seem to have better towing in mud, and that may come down to horsepower. Don't quite remember what wheel version or what wheel selection I had, but I know they were tires and not tracks, and it did pull this ripper halfway decent. I just think it adds, and I know for people, there's always that gimmick, you know, that gimmicky factor. And we've had gimmicks in the game, and it always has a negative connotation, you know, like if somebody says, oh, that's just kind of gimmicky. But you know, different strokes for different folks, and I'll always say, not everybody plays this game the same, and for some people, certain things are gonna, you know, gonna make the game a lot better and nicer and fun and enjoyable. Let's just stop here for a second and see how our, man, that Challenger is just owning it. She is just owning it. And you know, for me, I'm not going to do anything with the mud buying station, but I got to tell you, the more I've been playing around with this mud layer, the more I am really liking it. And it's not just the visuals, it's the fact that at least, even though it's not a lot, at least we have some variation in what tires versus tracks can do. And I think texture-wise, man, that looks good. Doesn't that look good? You can almost just smell the wet dirt and see all the earthworms coming up and the big old crawdaddies. What were the big crawlers? Oh man, I remember the days of being a little tyke, and we lived on a lake in Minnesota, and I spent a lot of time fishing I went from being scared to death of handling worms to not caring at all. Scared to death about handling fish to not caring at all. It's probably one of the best experiences of my life. My mom taught me everything I know about fishing. God bless her soul. Not rest her soul. Jeez, if she heard that, I'm still afraid of my mom. I don't think we ever stop being afraid of our moms. Uh-oh. What's that deer doing? Up to something. It's up to something. They must be smelling something or seeing something we're not, because they are all over this field. We're gonna do probably one more headland just to give us a little bit more room to operate. I have a feeling our employee over there running the Challenger is getting close to being wrapped up. She's still working it, but she's gonna knock that field out in no time flat. Well, I'm glad I went and leased this this tracked version, because I'll tell you, that wheeled version was not going to get us anywhere anytime soon, that's for sure. So have any of you had a chance to play this map, put some hours into it? I'd be curious to hear what you think about it. LancyBoi said, I believe on his Facebook page, I believe there is an update coming for the map, as well as oh, what's his other big map? Is it Silver Run or Stone Valley? Yeah. And I guess he's going to have an update for that as well. So I keep looking every day at the updated mods. Fingers crossed that we're going to see the updates come out pretty soon. But this map is definitely on my top tier list of maps that I am looking forward to putting some hours into. There's quite a few productions. There's a little bit of everything. There's some forestry stuff if you want to do forestry. Yeah, it's got just about everything. The backstory is kind of interesting. Not sure if you're familiar with that, but basically, I guess there was some dude that came in here and he was highly touted as being a great farm manager, and at least if I understand the backstory, if I remember it correctly, he came in with all kinds of great references and really got all the farmland up to snuff and in great condition. And just as he was making a bunch of friends, stay away from the tractor, Bambi. Just when he was making all kinds of friends and the community was really trusting him, he took off. And he took off with everything. He took off with the equipment, with the money. And yeah, not a good situation at all. Pretty much left the community just hanging. Oh, here we go. Jeez. Parents, take care of your kids. This is not the children's fault. This is bad parenting. But yeah, he left this community wrecked. Oh, it's gonna get hit. It's gonna get hit. And so they are, let's just say, not exactly open. They're not greeting people with open arms at the moment. The trust factor is pretty low, which I don't blame them. And then rolls in RQS Contracting and Associates to save the day. We are the new face of the farmer in this community, so hopefully we won't screw it up too bad. And we will restore some confidence in American Falls. so that they don't feel, oh man, that deer just, man, I don't know what they're doing. They're insane. Let's get this thing lined up. Let's go take a peek at our helper. I think she wrapped it up. Yeah, she's done. She's done and gone. We can clear out this field. There's 10 grand in the bank right there. Just kind of looking around here where we're at. I guess that's a farm right now that's vacant. One of the farms that the previous farm manager had. It's kind of sad to see how kind of ghost townish it is now, right? If we take a look, it's just an empty farm is a sad farm. Apparently he was doing fairly well though. I mean, he's got a nice silo set up. These barns look like they're in great condition. I don't think we can get into any of them. I think they're locked. Let's see if we can just get into this one real quick. No. Nope. I think they're all locked. That's a shame. Would love to be able to peek inside, see if they're completely empty. Nice silo. Oh! Hey, little guy. Take that. Yeah, this would be a great place to get set up, wouldn't it? You've got nice storage, good silo there. I think you've had, I think that is that water over there, fertilizer? What is that tank right there? I think everything's locked up though, tight. Yeah, everything's locked up tight. Kind of sad to see it this way, that's for sure. I'm not seeing any other toys laying around. We'll take any toys we find and donate them to the Goodwill. There's nice gas hookup right here, so you can load up your tractors and stuff with gas. Yeah, this has got it all. That's a shame. It's a shame that he did that. But hey, opportunity for the next person to come in and make some friends. Oh, that thing bogs down. Bogs down. You stay here, my friend. We're going to do a little bit more with the old JD. I'm enjoying running this 8R right now. It doesn't quite have the get up and go that the Challenger has, but I don't know, I'm kind of enjoying the relaxing plowing. Relaxing plowing. I feel like there's a really bad joke that comes along with that. Yeah, I don't think Bob Ross could have painted a better picture than what we're seeing here in American Falls. A little rainy. I'm a fan of the rain. I love thunderstorms. I love thunderstorms. I love cloudy days. I like gloomy days. Especially when you got the day off of work and you can just, you know, just stay home and kind of read a good book. Who am I kidding? I think the last book I read was probably the owner's manual to my rice cooker. I think that's the last book I read. And I didn't even read that through. I think I looked up times and I think that was about it. And I keep feeling like I should be reading more. Amazon Prime. If you got Amazon Prime, you probably noticed you get an email monthly for first reads. So you get like a free Kindle book every month. And you can pick from a selection of, like, I think there's like 6 or 8 books you can pick from. And every time I get that email and I pick, well, at least they're running on top of the plow and not under it. But every time I get that email, I go and I'm like, oh, cool. Ooh, I'm going to go look at that book and look for a good book. And I find something because they have them categorized: horror, drama, sensual desire, things like that, romance. I don't think they actually have sensual desire, but you get the idea. So I've got this big stack of virtual Kindle books sitting there, and every time I am flipping around on my iPad and I see the Kindle app, I get, I get a little bit, this little gut twinge that says, Brad, you need to turn the TV off and start reading some books, man. I think my problem has always been when I start reading, I usually if I pick a book up, it's going to be at night. And if I do that, it's lights out. Like 10-15 minutes and I'm done. So it takes like a year to get through any kind of a decent sized book. So reading and staying awake is a big problem I have. Let's see if we can just clean this up a little bit, maybe straighten out our deal here. I suppose we could use some guidance steering, but I'm just kind of having fun just playing in the mud. I remember I did get into a bit of a reading kick. Probably like, I shouldn't even say the number, but let's just say it's more years than probably some of you have been alive. And when I did get into reading, I got into Stephen King books. I know, kind of cliche, I know, but that's who I got into. And I remember reading Cujo and really enjoyed that book. Really enjoyed the book. And then I saw the movie, and that was a mistake because the movie, sorry to anybody who was involved in that thing, but that thing's a train wreck. It's just not designed. It's just, to me, some stories just should not be made into a movie, and Cujo is one of them. It just wasn't a good flick. Now, I thought Christine, I read that book and I also saw the movie. I actually thought Christine was a decent movie. There was enough going on that it made it at least somewhat interesting. Arnie falling in love with his car and that car basically coming alive. I thought it was kind of a cool, it was a great book, kind of a decent movie. Carrie was another one. I read Carrie, watched the movie. I thought the movie was pretty good. I think there was the original Carrie movie from the 70s, maybe? Late 70s, 80s, maybe? Carrie? I think there was a remake, at least one remake. There might even be more than one that I didn't enjoy as much. But the old Carrie, the original one, yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good stuff. One of my favorite Stephen King movies, I don't think I read the book, is, I'm gonna forget. Was it The Stand? It was the one with Christopher Walken in it. I can see the cover of the book, but I'm forgetting the name of it. He like gets in this car accident, I guess at the beginning of it, and then he somehow gets a head injury, I think, and he's now able to, when he shakes people's hands, he gets a glimpse of their futures, basically. I think is the idea behind it. I think it's called The Stand. I could be wrong, but that movie was really good. It's got Christopher Walken in it. Christopher Walken is, come on. What can you say, right? He's awesome. You got to have more cowbell. And then, but the story is good enough. I think the story was good, and he's awesome. So yeah, I enjoyed that movie quite a bit. I know I'm missing a couple. I did watch. Stephen King was involved a lot in Boy, I know. I'm going to forget the name of it. There was a TV show series on Hulu. At least that's where I watched it at. I don't know if it was a Hulu original or not, but I think it was on for maybe 3 seasons, maybe 4, 2, 3, 4 seasons, something like that. But if you're familiar with another fantastic movie, I never read the book. I really should read the book. Oh, what's the name of the one where that author gets in a car accident and Kathy Bates? I can remember the actors' names, but I can't remember the name of the stinking Mercy. No, not Mercy. Shoot. Anyways, he gets in that car accident and she finds him, and he happens to be her favorite author. So like, I'm your biggest fan. And anyways, I can't believe I can't remember the name of that book. Or the name of that movie too. It's crazy. Oh, got a little tight turn there, Brad. But this show that was on was the nurse's early life before she became a psychopathic recluse. It showed her in her early days where she was a nurse in a hospital and she had a kid, and it just kind of showed how she, I guess, became who she was when we see her eventually. Oh man, that's really, I'm gonna remember the name of that movie when I'm done here, and it's just bugging me. I can't believe I can't remember. It's like one of my favorite, it's probably the favorite Stephen King novel adaptation movies, for sure. But of course, you've got Pet Sematary. That was actually a pretty big hit at the box office, I think. That's a big one. Never read the book. Watched the movie. I thought the movie was pretty good. He's been involved in a lot of things. He's written a lot of episodes for different shows. So yeah, he's been involved in a lot of television and movie stuff. I saw an interview with him. He was interviewed on David Letterman interviewed him. He was pretty young. I think, dear crazy. I think he was in his like mid to late 20s or something, and it's kind of an interesting interview. This is before, I mean, he was successful, but he wasn't, you know, basically anywhere near the success that he finally became. And trying to think of any other authors that I have really gotten into. I can't really think of any that I've gone out of my way to read multiple books of theirs. Spent a lot of time reading computer books, but I guarantee none of those were made into movies. Wouldn't that be exciting? To have a computer book, an old computer reference book, turned into a movie? DOS for Dummies, coming to a theater near you. I don't even know how you would make that into a movie. A guide to visual C++ programming. Coming to a theater near you. Starring Alec Baldwin. I'm telling you, Jane, I am going to get this program finished and debugged before that meteor hits the Earth. You could do something like that. You could take like an old programming language book, or maybe like a hardware building or something like that, and add a spin to it, like Armageddon, where you have to write a visual C++ or maybe a Python script in order to keep a meteor from crashing into the Earth and killing everybody, that would be so much more entertaining than watching Bruce Willis flying around in space trying to set a nuclear bomb off on a meteor. Ooh, I hope I should have maybe made this a spoiler edition. Sorry. If you haven't seen Armageddon, my apologies. Oh, man. They all run together for me. Any of those movies, Armageddon, and I don't know, there's so many of them out there that they just kind of blend. Oh, is that the one where they, you know, need to explode a nuclear bomb on the thing? Or oh wait, or is this the one where they're trying to build break walls to keep this massive tidal wave from wiping out Los Angeles? I don't know. But I do like my idea of computer reference manuals turned into action adventures. Or they wouldn't even have to be an action adventure. You could turn a good old, you know, Windows tips and tricks romance. You could do that. You know, starring, I don't know, who would it star if it was a romance, computer romance, computer romance movie? We'd need a big name to get the audience to come see it. Maybe Tom Cruise, but he's more of an action star. I'm going to have to give that one some thought. I want a romantic lead who's not only like a really good looking dude, but can also pull off looking hot using Windows. And then and then, of course, we're going to have his, you know, we need to cast, it could be multiple people. It could be a multi-thing. I mean, we could have multiple different kind of couples, you know, all coming together at the end. Maybe they're getting a blue screen of death, and maybe that's how they meet, you know. John Hamm, the dude from Mad Men, there's a good one. So we'll have John Hamm. He will... Maybe he just bought a new piece of crap Dell or something like that. No offense, but maybe he did. And he takes it home and you know, he's getting it all done, but all the bloatware that comes with them, you know, the 30-day free McAfee, the 30-day free Norton piece of junk. You've got about 16 different antiviruses that you get free trials for. And he's confused. He doesn't know what to do. He gets a blue screen. He ends up calling tech support, and on the other end is Scarlett Johansson, because she does that voice on that movie Her. Have you ever seen that movie Her, where she's the computer voice? Yeah, she would be perfect for this. So she answers the call, you know, tech support, how may I help you, you know? And he's like, hey, just bought this new piece of crap, you know, and I got this blue screen. I know it's bad, but it's looking at me with a smiley face. Don't really understand that. And that's how they get to know each other, and it becomes a big romance. She shares all kinds of keyboard shortcuts with him. He is just impressed beyond all imagination. She ends up showing him how to wipe a hard drive and format and reinstall Windows. True romance comes out of it. They end up getting married in Redmond, Washington, at Microsoft's headquarters. And just, you know, and maybe it turns into a romantic comedy, you know, fun hijinks then all of a sudden start. So you've got little DOS babies that come along, and they bring their own kind of issues. Like they have memory leaks and stuff like that, and John Hamm and Scarlett Johansson have to fix the memory leaks, and maybe one of them spills water on their computer, and it almost ends up in a divorce, but they find out that that they can just buy a new one, and Yeah, or they had Apple Care and it covered water spill. Maybe they had a Mac. I don't know. I'm just throwing these ideas out there, and if any of you are producers, if you're TV execs, run with it. I'm not going to charge you anything. I'm not that kind of dude. I'm an idea guy. I'm just an idea person. That's all. So take it for what it's worth. I think it's brilliant, but you know, that's just me. That's just me. Well, somehow or other, I yapped my way through almost 45 minutes of plowing, which has got to be a personal record. And I hope you enjoyed the Traveling Contractor this week. It was meant for that. It was meant for that. So hopefully I succeeded somewhat. If you did, leave a like. I'd sure really appreciate that. Always feel free to join. Again, thank you to all the new subscribers. You all are awesome. It still absolutely makes my day when I get an email saying, hey, such and such, so-and-so just subscribed. It's fantastic. Love it. Thanks for joining the family. Please check out the RQS Discord server. Like I said, you're also welcome to become a member of the channel. And as always, you're welcome to just watch for free and come along for the ride. But a like would certainly be an inexpensive way to help support us, so I'd appreciate that. We will be back in tranquil waters tomorrow for our final Friday video. Hope to see you there. Thanks again for joining me. I really appreciate it. You guys take care of yourselves. You all take care of each other. That's most important. Come up with some great ideas for some great computer manual movies, and maybe we can get some financing going, and who knows, you know, maybe it's a whole new genre we can get started. All right, everyone, take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.